class of 2014, please turn and face the stage. Be seated. On behalf of the class of 2014, the faculty, staff, and administration, I would like to welcome you all to the 41st Annual Commencement Ceremony for Bloomington High School North. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy lives to share with us in celebrating the culmination of 4 years of hard work on the part of this graduating class. At this time, I would like to introduce our first student speaker, Maria Halloran.
Good morning, Bloomington High School North! Okay, before I get started, I would like to take a moment to applaud the family and faculty members here. None of us would have been able to be here without you, and I think I can speak for the whole class of 2014 when I say that we are eternally grateful for your support and guidance. Thank you. To be frank, the idea of speaking for the entire graduating class of 2014 was a daunting one. Searching for a common memory or a one-size-fits-all piece of advice was nearly impossible because Bloomington High School North means so many different things to so many different people. What could I say that would sum it all up? Then I remembered something that we were told freshman year at orientation. A message repeated by many teachers and administrators since then. Mr. Henderson said to us, before we even knew how to find our way around the halls of BHSN, that this was our school. Not the teachers, not the parents, and it would only ever be as good as we made it. Since freshman year, we have all done our part to make this school our own. Through participation in athletics, the arts, academics, or even just participation in our small social groups, our actions have formed the personality and environment of this BHSN. In one way or another, our actions, big and small, have changed this school forever. Bloomington High School North was our school, and it was only ever going to be as good as we made it. I'd say we made it a pretty exceptional place to be. Today is an odd day. Symbolically, many things end today. Our high school careers, some might even say our childhoods. However, today is also a day of great new beginnings. And, interestingly enough, the advice we got freshman year is still applicable. Except, now that we are out of high school, it's not just the school that is ours, but the whole world. And again, it is only ever going to be as good as we make it. So go out and be the change you want to see in it. Seize the day, find your passion and pursue it. Do all of the cheesy things that people tell you to do in graduation speeches. And do them with pride, with love, and with persistence. Because we are Cougars. We are the graduating class of 2014. And if each one of us has made this school a better place in our own way, then each one of us can make the world a better place. Thank you and congratulations. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our second senior speaker, my good friend Kate Raphael.
Bill Nye, the science guy with whom many of us are familiar, a man who made seemingly dull, convoluted concepts accessible and exciting to us, has said, "Everyone you will ever meet knows something you don't." I would extend this to add, everything you will ever experience can teach you something you don't yet know if you are receptive to learning it. We are here today because we've successfully completed our high school education. Adorned with shimmering tassels and colorful cords, clad in North's signature commencement garb, we nod to all those who came before us. who sat in the same folding chairs and waited their turns to walk across the stage into our collective futures. We are here because something is finished. A part of our lives has ended. The days we've been counting down are behind us, and now we can't help but look back. High school is often elevated to the highfalutin status of best years of our life, the years of finding our identities and discovering ourselves. But within the class of 2014, we've had radically different experiences. For some of you, these years may have been the best years of your life, marked by unforgettable moments and lifelong friends. Some of you may feel like high school has failed you, like it was a fruitless, uninspiring gesture at education. For some, high school may have been downright negative, and you might be wishing the ceremony would end so you could go do anything else. Most of us fall somewhere in between these polarized ends of the spectrum. But regardless of what high school was for you, we can all still learn from it. If you're sitting here thinking that you made the most of your experience, that you got everything out of your education, I applaud you. Keep on broadening, strengthening, and continuing your education. If you hated every minute of it, then let this be a call to action. Take your future education into your own hands and make the most of what is to come. We can all extract something from these past 4 years and be inspired to find methods, experiences, people we can learn from. We've only been introduced to education, and I hope that we will all continue to be students of the world for the rest of our lives. Upon our entrance into high school, we are encouraged to engrave our emerging identities into stone, to evaluate and analyze developing interests, and make premature, concrete career plans. And maybe these plans were spot on for you. Maybe they confirmed what you already knew, that you wanted to be a teacher or doctor, musician or engineer. But regardless of whatever these indicators said, or whatever you might have written down as intended major on numerous college applications, or your plans for 2015 and beyond, I encourage you to remember that our lives are always in flux. Our plans are fluid, and as we change, our interests and dreams will change too. So let's open ourselves up to a wealth of knowledge. Let's bear our vulnerabilities and expose our ignorance. Allow ourselves to learn and be taught. Let's promise to never stop learning, never exhaust our excitement for the world, never lose faith in our futures. Thank you. Please welcome Maytal Shakov to the podium.
Hi guys. As kids, many of us had superheroes that we looked up to. We fantasized we could fly, move objects with our minds, or shoot out spider webs. We dreamed of growing up to be superheroes ourselves. Unfortunately for all of us, it seems as though we survived adolescence without being bitten by a radioactive spider. While this makes life a little bit more boring, let's be real here. None of us would have really had the time to study, be social, and save the world every night. Fortunately for all of us, though, we have been granted a wonderful and special superpower, the power of choice. And always with great power comes great responsibility. With the power of choice comes the ultimate implication of our choices. That is, in our lives, every single action we take will affect our futures. Or as physicists like to say, every action has a reaction. Whether this action be forgetting to take out the trash, and as a result your parents yell at you, or it be that you study really hard, get good grades, which ultimately enable you to get into the college of your dreams. These choices, from now until the day we die, will affect our lives in more ways than one. We learn about the quality of our choices by their consequences. With the ability to choose comes power. The power to build, or the power to destroy. The power to listen, or the power to ignore. The power to reach out, or the power to turn away. The power to act, or the power to stand still. What will your choice be? When the moment comes when you can either give up or get up, and that moment always comes, which will you choose? In the end, our choices and their implications define us. We are our choices. Yes, certain situations may be out of our control, but how we choose to react to those situations and our choices of action, that is what shows our true character. As Dumbledore once said to Harry Potter, it is not our abilities that show who we are, but our choices. With that, I urge you to start making these choices, but make them wisely. Because it is our choice what we do with the time that is given to us, and our choice whether or not to waste it. Thank you. I'd like to introduce our next student speaker, Tommy Dudek.
The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates once said this, and his words ring true today more than ever. It seems it was just yesterday we were at North, taking our G6 and G8 finals, saying our last goodbyes to friends and faculty, and driving away from that place forever. Well, thanks to all the snow days, it almost was just yesterday. And just like the weather these past few years that we all know has been unpredictable and rough, what is to come in our own lives is also uncertain. We had better take Socrates' words to heart. It is a well-known fact that we high schoolers speed down Kinzer Pike. In our own rush, we disregard the 30 miles per hour guideline posted. Sometimes there have been wrecks. Sometimes the dang mailman is slowing us all down by, just doing his job. Sometimes there's a cop who has set up a speed trap to keep us all in line. When you get right down to it, Kinzer Pike is an awful lot like our high school experience. Yes, that winding road that we've all driven on at one point or another is a lot like what our time at this school has encompassed. We all ignored the constant guidelines from people telling us to slow down. Sometimes we had our wrecks. As individuals and as a class, we all had times where we slipped along our high school road. And thank goodness for the cops that helped keep us in line. Whether they were our parents, our teachers, or an actual cop pulling us over, they were instrumental in keeping us safe. These enforcers in all of our lives have kept us on track, and for that, they should be thanked. Without them, we would have been reckless in our approach to make it through high school. Let's not kid ourselves here. We all sped through our high school experience. If there had been a speed trap on our road through high school, we would have inevitably spent the night in jail. The swiftness at which we travel through our high school years is shocking, and here we are, at graduation. If you're sitting there and don't feel like these 4 years have been a blur, then kudos to you. And finally, most of us are aware of the recent construction that has gone on near Kinzer by Cascades. Just as there is construction on Kinzer at the end of our high school years, there needs to be construction in our own lives. It's time to construct a meaningful plan for ourselves. If we have failed to examine ourselves, then it's time to finally getting around to doing so. How would we like it if the road which we travel on every day never had any maintenance? As we leave Bloomington High School North, we are going to travel some new roads. No one can travel that road for us. We have to travel it by ourselves. Perhaps there will be a fork in the road. How will we know which direction to go? Through self-examination, we can learn to make our own compass. We can't predict the future or know where the new roads which you travel on will take us. There is no way of knowing what the future holds. But the best way to predict the future is to map it. Thank you. And our next speaker will be Winston Winkler with the Class Challenge.
The class of 2014 challenges the class of 2015 and their president Corbin Andrews to continue to uphold the legacy set forth by the class of 2014. A legacy characterized by academic excellence, community service to others, strong athletics, extreme charisma, chutzpah, and an indomitable will to be successful. Furthermore, the class of 2014 also challenges the class of 2015 to always remember to respect yourself, to respect others, to be responsible for your own actions, and remember, it's great to be a Cougar.
On behalf of the class of 2015, challenge accepted. We will, as class president, I promise that we will uphold the excellence passed down by the class of 2014 to our utmost abilities, and continue as most importantly, Kuru pride. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to present to you at this time the trustees of the Monroe County Community School Corporation. I ask that you please withhold your applause until I have introduced each member. President, Mr. Keith Klein. Vice President, Mr. Kelly Smith. Secretary, Mrs. Martha Street. Trustee, Dr. Janine Butler. Trustee, Dr. Lois Sabo-Skelton. And Trustee, Ms. Sue Wanzer. In addition, I would like to publicly recognize and thank members of the administrative and guidance staff, Superintendent Dr. Judith DeMuth, Assistant Principals Ms. Betty Anderson, Mr. Marcus Debrow, Mr. Tim Hudson, and Dr. Andrea Mobley, Guidance Counselors Mr. Greg Chaffin, Ms. Sarah Franklin, Ms. Adrienne Him, and Ms. Mary Priester, and also Ms. Kathy Rillo. It takes the teamwork and dedication of all these individuals to keep Bloomington High School North running smoothly. Please join with me in recognizing and welcoming the Board of Education of the MCCSC and members of the administrative and guidance teams of Bloomington High School North. Additionally, I would be remiss if I did not thank Mrs. Yauker and the students of the music department for their participation in today's ceremony. It makes today very special. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Bloomington High School North, I want to extend my sincere congratulations to the class of 2014. This afternoon, before honors are conferred on those assembled here today, I wish to express my appreciation to parents and family members who have supported and nurtured these students as they have worked towards accomplishing this goal. We all know that without your love, your loyal support, and your perseverance, we would not be here today. So thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you for supporting not only the students gathered here today, but also the classroom teachers, as they have worked diligently to provide the best foundation possible for your students. At this time, I would like all members of the Bloomington High School North faculty to stand to be recognized. Students, among your classmates, there is great diversity and very interesting and entertaining personalities. The accomplishments of the class of 2014 are many. Printed in your program today, you will see a key which will help you identify those graduates who have distinguished themselves through their affiliations and by earning various honors. 95% of the seniors gathered before you today have indicated to their counselors that they intend to pursue a post-secondary degree. The class also earned over $2.8 million worth of academic scholarships, and that's only adding up those scholarships that they choose to accept, not counting the ones that they declined. They also received various honors and awards in the arts and numerous athletic awards. North's Habitat for Humanity chapter is about to build its 14th house in 14 years, a feat no other high school chapter in the nation has ever accomplished. A sectional championship was won in football, including 5 first-team all-conference selections, 3 all-state selections, 3 academic all-state selections, 1 Indiana All-Star selection, and an HT All-Area Player of the Year selection. Sectional championships were also won in boys basketball, boys track, and girls tennis. The boys track team also earned their first Conference Indiana championship. In addition, Regional championships were earned in boys basketball, boys track, and girls tennis. In fact, 4 members of this graduating class are missing this ceremony today because they are still representing Bloomington High School North in the semi-state tennis tournament in Jasper. One student qualified for 3 events in the girls' state track meet, and 2 others qualified for the boys' state track meet. Our brain game team finished in the top 8 in the state. Honors were earned in Japanese Olympiad competition, Business Professionals of America contests, regional scholastic art and writing contests, national photography contests, Science Olympiad, the Indiana Scholastic Arts Competition. The Jazz Trio earned Downbeat Magazine's award for Best High School Jazz Combo in the nation. Symphonic Band made the state finals for the 28th time in 30 years and placed in the top 8. And BHSN had a record number of students chosen for this year's All-State Bands, just to name a few. There are 55 National Honor Society members in this group, 68 all-conference scholar athletes. Those are students who earned a varsity letter and have maintained a GPA of 3.5 or higher throughout their high school career. 5 AP scholars with honors, 2 AP scholars with distinction, and 14 AP scholars, along with a National Hispanic Recognition Scholar, 2 Lilly Scholars, and a Wells Scholar. As you can see, we have an immensely talented group of young people gathered before you today. I've only mentioned a few of their accomplishments. In many cases, the most significant accomplishments are personal. You will notice that there are 52 names listed in the program as principal scholars. All 52 of these students ended their career at North with a cumulative grade point average higher than 4.0. 2 members of this class that we are especially proud of are your salutatorian, Mr. Ronald Ding, and your valedictorian, Ms. Corinne Kumar. These 2 young people have distinguished themselves by earning the 2 highest cumulative GPA rankings of all members of this class over their 4-year career at Bloomington High School North. They were only separated at the end of 4 years by 0.06 of a GPA point. As you can see, they accomplished this feat among some pretty stiff competition from their classmates. Please join me in a special moment of recognition for these 2 fine scholars. The salutatorian and valedictorian will receive their medals as they cross the stage a little bit later in our ceremony. Over the course of your lifetime, the world has changed greatly. As I think about the future and all of the challenges that lie ahead for members of your generation to address in the world, I am encouraged by your global conscience, your desire to help your community become a better place, and the genuine care you show to each other. Be prepared for more change as you live out your life and approach each one with a positive attitude. I've spoken to you many occasions about your ability to impact your school as leaders and stand here very proud of the contributions you have all made to Bloomington High School North. Today, as we gather here to honor you, like Maria, I'd like to broaden those comments and remind you that you hold the power to impact your world in so many ways. As you exit Assembly Hall at the conclusion of today's ceremony, keep faith that your contributions to our society are valuable and much needed. Today is an ending and a beginning for each of you. Continue to develop your sense of self, remembering the lessons of right and wrong. Be mindful of the fact that success is not found in knowledge alone, but also in the relationships that you develop with people. It is easy to picture many of you accomplishing great things as you make a place for yourself in the larger world. I am certain that you will find success waiting for you if you are persistent in your efforts and apply the foundational knowledge you have gained at Bloomington High School North. The faculty and staff gathered here feel a special sense of pride and satisfaction as we look at the class of 2014 and realize that all of us as educators have had a part in bringing you to this point in your lives. We may not be privileged to help you in the future, but others will be waiting, happy to work with each of you. Good luck to each of you from all of us at Bloomington High School North. We wish you nothing but great success and happiness. Members of the Board of Education, Dr. DeMuth, by the powers vested in me by the state of Indiana as principal of Bloomington High School North, I do hereby certify that the members of the class of 2014 gathered in front of you here today have met all graduation and/or certification requirements as established by the State Board of Education and the Monroe County Community School Corporation. And now it is my honor to introduce Dr. Judith DeMuth, Superintendent of Monroe County Community School Corporation, for the presentation of the class of 2014. Dr. DeMuth.
To all of our parents, our guardians, family members, and friends, it has been an honor to serve your graduates. To our staff members, thank you for the phenomenal job you have done with our students, and to our graduates, our very best. When we hear Mr. Henderson talk about all of your aspirations being fulfilled in high school, it's truly rewarding, and we wish you the best with your careers, families, and friends. On behalf of the Monroe County Community School Corporation Board of School Trustees and Administrative Team, and by the authority vested in me by the Indiana Department of Education, it is a privilege and an honor to present the members of the Bloomington High School North class of 2014 for receipt of their diplomas.
Winkler. Thomas Edward Diedick. Mikhail Shachov. Catherine Peckham Raphael. Maria Elena Halloran. Emma Michelle Abraham. Hernan Aka Talabos. Thuraya Al-Nasri. Nathaniel Ian Alano. Joshua Bryce Aldrich. Henry Clay Alexander. Peter O. Allen. Devin Miles Anderson. Karen E. Anise Ranger. Tucker J. Anthus. Lena Marie Atkerson. Elizabeth Ann Axum. Elif Baldich. Elena Renee Bargo.